friends, this is a lesson on addition and subtraction of fractions. So when you are doing these fractions, the first thing that you must do, you must factorize. But mainly we're concentrating on the denominator, so we must try and factorize the denominator. The second thing, you must find the lowest common denominator, but it's actually the lowest common multiple that we are taught in lower grades. It's just that we are concentrating on the denominator. We are not looking at the lowest common multiple of the numerator. So that's why it's called the lowest common denominator. And then I'm going to show you how you do this. When you take the new denominator, you divide it by the old denominator, and then you multiply by a numerator to make a new expression, right? Let's look at an example. We're going to follow these steps using an example. Example 1, we have 3 fractions. Now when you have a plus or a minus, it means you have terms. You can't cancel. Once you cancel, know that you're cancelling your past, cancel, cancel. So you can't cancel. So the first thing, but factorize. When you look at the first term, the denominator, you can't factorize. In the second term, it is the difference of 2 squares. You have to factorize that. The third one, you can't factorize. Okay, so we're going to factorize. We want to write the ones that we cannot factorize. Then we factorize that. Minus 12, difference of 2 squares, 2 brackets. You have an x, a plus, a minus, a 1, and a 1. Then this one you write exactly as it is. Right, we've done this part, factorizing. So now we're going to find the lowest common denominator. What you do, you take each denominator. I'm going to write it here. The first denominator is x minus 1. So I'll have x minus 1. Right? For the second denominator, I have 2 binomials. I have an x plus 1 and x minus 1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look, do I have an x plus 1 already? X plus 1, I don't have. So I'm going to form a new column, x plus 1. And then, do I have an x minus 1? Yes, I have. So I'm going to write that underneath the one that I have already. Then I go to the third fraction. I have an x plus 1. Do I have an x plus 1? Yes, I have. Now, this is how I find my lowest common denominator. The lowest common denominator, you take each binomial from each term. Here I have x minus 1 from there, and from this one I have x plus 1. So this is my new denominator. When I say new denominator, this is my new denominator. Your lowest common denominator becomes your new denominator. So you're going to draw a line and have x minus 1, x plus 1. What you're going to do now, you're going to take each fraction and follow these steps. New denominator is x minus 1, x plus 1, divided by x plus 1. Because that cancels that for the first term. The next term, the minus 12, and then I go, new denominator is this one. Old denominator is that one. So that will cancel that, that will cancel that. I'll be left only with a 12. Then I write the minus 6. New denominator is this one. This is my new denominator. So that will cancel the old denominator. I'll be left with x minus 1. Open bracket, x minus 1. So this is my new expression. Please, grade 10s, you have to watch video on how you find the product. Because now we're going to find the product. X times x is going to give us x squared. X times 1 is going to give us x. The minus 12 is all by itself. Minus 6 times minus x is minus 6x. Negative times negative, positive. 6 times 1, 6. Don't forget that this was a fraction. So I'm going to keep my... I'm not going to solve this part. I'm going to leave it like that. And then find common factors. I only have x squared. I don't have anything else. Then that and that will give me minus 5x. And then 12 and 6 will give me minus 6. Divided by x minus 1, x plus 1. Now when you look at this one, you have a trinomial. So I'm going to factorize the trinomial. Also, there's a video for that, so I don't expect you to get it wrong. And then factors of 6 minus 6 plus 1 over x minus 1 x plus 1. Now, everything is inside the bracket. It means everything are factors. If we have factors, then we can cancel. You see, this bracket is exactly the same like that one. So we can cancel them out. So our answer is x minus 6 over x minus 1. This is how we've simplified the fraction. This is our final answer. You can't cancel anything here because you have terms. You have a minus between. You don't have factors. You can't cancel. You can't cancel the x and the x. Nothing cancels. This is your answer. Let's look at example 2. When you look, we are factorizing the denominator. The first denominator doesn't need to be factorized. You cannot find factors. The second one also doesn't need to be factorized. Then the third one, it's a trinomial. Please find the video of factorizing a trinomial. We're going to have an x and an x, factors of 2 that will, when we subtract them, they'll give us 1, plus 2 minus 1. The bigger number must take the sign of the middle one. Right, we have factorized. We must find the lowest common multiple. To find the lowest common multiple, we write each binomial. X minus 1, we don't have. And then we have x plus 2, we write under x plus 2. Then x minus 1, right under x minus 1. Then our lowest common denominator, we take 1 from each column. So it's x plus 2 and x minus 1. This is our new denominator. We're going to write our new denominator, x plus 2, x minus 1. Then new denominator is this one, divided by old denominator times numerator. So that will cancel that. I'll be left with x into x minus 1. Then minus 2. That will cancel that. I'll be left with x plus 2. And then that will cancel that. That will cancel that. I'll be left with minus 6. Then we find the product. X times x, x squared, minus x, minus 2x, that and that, minus 4, minus 6, over, you don't multiply out the denominator. Then we collect like terms. X squared, it's minus 3x minus 10. Now you see we have a trinomial in the numerator. We factorize the trinomial. Factorize trinomial, it's x and x. We find factors of 10 that when we subtract them, they'll give us negative 5. We subtract because of the negative. So it's minus 5. The 5 is minus because we take the sign of the bigger number. The middle term take the sign. Then it's plus 2. Then we have x plus 2, x minus 1. Now we have factors. Everything is inside bracket. We can cancel. That will cancel that. Then we're left with x minus 5 over x minus 1. We can't cancel because now we have terms. This is the end of our lesson. Please practice. Thank you for watching.